I want to take a moment today to do a video about something you hear on the internet every now and then. I hear it in my comment section quite a lot. And it's people saying that, no matter what way you choose to carry your gun, what position, what manner, etc., during your day, you're going to flag yourself, especially when you draw your gun. There's just no way to avoid it. So it doesn't really matter how you carry. As long as you keep your finger off the trigger, you'll be okay, because it's all inherently risky. No matter which way you choose to carry it, there's an inherent risk. So you just have to keep your finger off the trigger. Well, I want to look at that today, because is that true? No matter how you carry, are you going to flag yourself? And one of the reasons I wanted to cover that today is because I got accused the other day of flagging myself, or muzzling myself, as some people like to say, with my gun as I was unholstering it and holstering it during a video. Someone said, you don't like appendix carry, but you just flagged yourself while you were holstering and unholstering. And in the video, I looked at it and I'm like, no, you're wrong. I didn't. A lot of people look at these videos and they think, 2 dimensions, that's pointing at you. But we're in 3 dimensions. So I wanted to take a look at that video today and see if that's true. Did I flag myself in that video? And I'm going to replay it here. I know a lot of you are going to say, well, won't you just draw and reholster right now so we can see? Well, for one, that'd be contrived, because I'd be trying to do it perfectly, or close to perfect as I can get it, which wouldn't be very perfect. But, and plus, it's not even 1 p.m. here yet, and I'm semi-retired, and what semi-retired person actually has pants on before 2 p.m.? I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I'm not wearing my holster right now, so I can't do that. So let's look at the video from when the person said that I flagged myself. As you can see here, I draw the gun, I blah, 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 and then I put the gun back in the holster. Now it's at this point right here where they say I'm flagging myself. They're like, aha, you're pointing the gun right at yourself. But you know what? I'm not. Like I said, you're looking at this in 2 dimensions, but if you remember, I'm 3-dimensional, believe it or not. In fact, one of those 3 dimensions is a lot bigger than I'd like it to be. So I am not flagging myself in this video. If you look at the gun here, you're actually seeing the back of the hammer, you're seeing the full front sight, you're seeing the full dot. That's because this gun is pointed to the rear. Now, if you were to follow a line straight down from the barrel without taking 3 dimensions into effect, it would intersect with my body. But if you take 3 dimensions into effect, it's not coming anywhere close to me. It's actually hitting about 4 or 5 feet on the ground behind me. To illustrate that a little better here, let's say this is the view of the gun if it's pointed straight up and down. This is the view of the gun if it's pointed straight into my body. Let's say I'm standing like 1.5 feet in front of where I'm actually at right now. This gun would be on my hip. This would be pointing at me, but you're looking at the gun like this. You're seeing the back of the strap right here. You're seeing the back of the hammer. You're seeing the full front sight. That gun is not pointed anywhere near me right here. In fact, if this was to fire right now, it wouldn't even hit me standing 1.5 feet back from where the gun would be. Someone standing like right up against me behind me, they wouldn't even be hit, because there's 3 dimensions here. So as you can see, that whole notion that you're going to flag yourself no matter how you carry, it's not true. It's just hooey. That's all it is. And what it is really, it's a bunch of tacky-tards trying to justify why they make a risky choice of carrying appendix carry and making it seem like they're not doing something reckless. Because unless they've got a real reason to carry that way, like, I can't carry any other way because of my job, or I can't carry any other way because of a physical handicap I have, unless you have a really good reason, which they don't. They're instructors. They can carry however they want. They don't have an excuse to take that extra risk, so they try to pretend it's not a risk. Because how else are they going to justify that they're breaking one of the major rules of firearms handling, and that is never point a loaded gun at something you don't want to destroy. And I personally don't want to destroy my balls or my femoral artery, and I'm betting they don't either. So they have to say shit like, it's no more dangerous and just keep your finger off trigger, because it makes it seem like they're not taking an unnecessary risk when they are. And that's why I have a problem with appendix carry, because so many people out there believe these experts that it's no more risky than any other style of carry, when it is definitely more risky than other style of carry. That's like if you went to, I don't know, the world's leading experts on prostitutes, which would probably be like Navy men. Now, Navy men? Well, because Navy men, believe me, they like to partake of the local fauna when they get off the ship. I think it's flora or fauna. I think it's fauna. And they know a little bit about prostitutes, trust me. I mean, they spend a lot of time on ships just keeping other real soldiers warm, because let's face it, the only reason we actually have a Navy nowadays is so that the Marines will have someone to dance with when they're on the ships. So after a couple of months of this, these guys, they like to seek out, the occasional working girls when they get off the boat. Now, if these experts on prostitutes were to tell you, hey, the Bangkok women, those are the safest ones, they're the cleanest, you're never going to get a disease there, you don't even need to use protection, and you took them as experts and you made a decision based on that information, well, that's not fair to you. That's not fair to you at all. Now, if they're honest with you and tell you, hey, it's really risky, these Bangkok women, so, double bag it, and then you go, I'm not afraid of a little gonorrhea, and you decide to make a choice to not use protection even though you have the facts, that's on you. That's why I'm not totally opposed to appendix carry, because if you're aware of how risky it is, go ahead and take the risk, especially if you've got good reason to take the risk. If you are believing these people on the internet, these tactitards, and you actually believe every other carry method is just as dangerous, well, then you're making an uninformed decision, and that I'm not okay with, especially when that bad information is coming from people who present themselves as experts. So in the end, as you saw, you do not flag yourself every time you draw a gun from no matter where you're carrying it at. That's just bunk. It's just something that a bunch of tactitards say to make it look like they're not making a stupid decision when they actually are making a stupid decision that they didn't need to make.